In this video, we're taking on the challenge of building one of LEGO's most iconic trucks, the Model Team 5580 Highway Rig. Let's see how it holds up after nearly 4 decades. This is the second part in our 3-part series diving into the golden era of LEGO Model Team sets. Last time we took a close look at the origins of Model Team with a smaller 5510 set, but today we're stepping up the game with this much larger, more detailed 5580 Highway Rig. This set was first released in 1986 and features 636 regular pieces, and when it's built it's supposed to be over 35 centimeters in length. I'll be speed building from this printed manual supplied by Toys Period, so credit to them. But what I'll do is I'll slow down if there's any times I make a mistake or something's a little bit complicated in the manual. I'll also have the timer going so we can see how long it's going to take to build in just one sitting. And then other than that, I'll catch you again at the end and we'll do a review to see if it lives up to the hype. Right, that makes more sense. There we go. So you put these top parts in. The tricky part is that it looks like these parts here are above, see there, but they're not. They're actually going into the holes. So it's like that, into those pegs, both sides. This one's pointing that way, and that one's pointing backwards, with these parts then just hanging down and this part rotating in the middle. This part looks like it's going to be a fun bit to build. It's got lots of different brick types. So we've got the grey, the red, these black ones. We've got some piping, elastic bands, and all of this is this part here to build the engine bay. So that's really cool. So looking forward to doing this bit. There we go, so that's the engine built. These parts, you can see kind of have a little bit of movement on the engine, which is a nice touch for the cylinders. The pipes coming out here. One little confusing part, so I've got this belt. The picture almost looks like it's only supposed to go to one part, but it's not overly clear. I'm hoping that on another picture maybe it'll show me the other side or not. But anyway, lots of nice details on that engine bay, so that'll be nice to put on in this next section now. as you can see so far, been building up that part, and it's nice how they've layered it all, just to give it the extra detail. So we've got this at the front, the gear stick. This moves through at the minute, and I'm wondering if that's going to probably interact with these cogs that we put on. So you're probably going to be turning something somewhere, and then it'll maneuver that, and then that's going to maneuver something in there potentially, but we'll see. I think there's going to be a lot of finessing with the gears to line everything up when I'm done. But yeah, another little nice section to come onto here. Just got to take my time and make sure I get everything right. One thing I've just noticed, these are studded ones, and these ones are hollow, because these remind me of the other set that I had. But what I'll do is, because I've noticed that, I'm going to make sure that these are all replaced for the studded ones so that the set is proper. So I think I was just overthinking it. That time I just went to the front, and I've just pushed down, and the studs have all kind of seated correctly. So look there, you can see steering on the wheel. I'll tell you what, that is such a lovely touch. The way it then comes together by using the bricks here, the door, the panels here, and then actually making this section so that it crosses over is absolutely brilliant. And then, if you remember earlier, we put these along here, and that enables you to lift that up and see the engine, which we'll have a look at the end when it's all fully done. But that is just a really lovely detail. And there we have it, the build is complete. So what I'll do is I'm just going to give this just a light clean over on a few of the dusty bricks. I'll reset up the camera, and then we'll do a review of the set. And here it is in all its glory. As you can see, it took just under 3 hours to build, which is around twice as long as it took me to build the simpler 5510 in the first episode. There were a couple of gotchas. Getting the suspension right in here was probably the trickiest part. There was a few little things, such as the seats had to be at the back, so I had to move those, and I had to move the steering wheel forward so it was in the right place to tilt. Same up here, I made a mistake on there. The next trickiest thing I'd say was fitting the cab onto the front. It was a little bit confusing how it was all going to sit. And then what I also found as I went through was a few of the steps I'd have to go back slightly, because they'd have the main steps and you'd have a look, and then there'd be another little section that was very easy to overlook. But let's have a closer look at it and see if it's worth adding to your collection. So first of all, I've got to say I absolutely kind of started falling in love with this as soon as the proportions started to form, and especially when this detailing all started tying in. And I mentioned it in the video as I was doing it, just the way it comes through with the white, the red and the blue through here, all the way around to the far side, I think is a lovely touch. I think in the intro I was expecting it to be 35 centimeters. Actually it comes in around 32.5, so a tiny bit less, but still a large build, and it's jam-packed with detail. So let's try and start with the simpler parts. Around here at the rear, you've got your number plate on and your lights, and then you've got your rear wheels here, if you spotted right at the end of the video, I put these together the wrong way. They actually go kind of back to back rather than the same direction. So you've got your wheels here with that in kind of independent suspension, so you can see how each of these rear sections move, which is a really nice touch to build that in. And you've also got this section here, which would allow you to put a truck on. Also at the back, we've got these lovely chimney stacks. And one thing I really appreciated when doing this was how they built things to make them look like they continued through. So adding the smaller one there, these, and then another one on top, and then the pipes, to try and make it look like it was a cylinder being held in place. I just thought that was a really lovely touch. Coming around here, we've got like the gas tanks or whatever they're going to be underneath, and you've got your little steps moving up into the cabin, which we'll have a look at in a minute. Coming around again, we've got kind of some smaller exhaust vents, some lighting, and round to the front, we've got these big front grille, which is really lovely, with the number plate down at the bottom, our windscreen wipers there, and just the little details such as the wing mirrors. Up on the top, we've got some lights here, you know, and the horns, and then we've got these sections that open up. We'll have a look at that now. So what's nice here is the ability to look inside the cabin. Your doors are functional, so you can open that up and then peek inside to see your steering wheel. You're not actually going to do anything with that. It's just for decoration. It's sat on a pivoting part. You've got this bit, which is really just your aerodynamics for the rig. But then what you can do is open these flaps at the back and even have them as aerodynamics. Or what it allows you to do is just look inside down to those moving parts that we saw when we were building it. And then what you have is your steering wheel at the back, which has, as I showed during the speed build, allows you to turn those front wheels left and right. So as you're driving along, you can actually turn as you're playing with the vehicle, which is really nice. And then one of the other details we have, which I absolutely loved, was this ability to open the front and then look at that inside, the detailing there. We've got all of this engine, and remember, it's got little touches that they didn't even have to do, like the fact that you can open the engine up slightly like this, so it can kind of be like a V, but in reality like a V6 or whatever, or a V8, which it is here. So you can split those open. You've got the little belt on the front, the pipes and everything. So you can imagine this, you know, if you wanted to display it fully, you could have everything open, you could have your doors open, you could have these parts up here, and it just looks absolutely brilliant. So yeah, I'm a massive fan of the build. When it was finished, there was a few parts left over. I'm happy that I've completed it. What they are for is for the extra builds that you can do. So if you go right to the back here, you can see this little utility truck with a generator at the back. So that wraps up part 2 of the Model Team series. What did you think of the 5580 highway rig? Do you prefer this one over the last one? Or are you just waiting to see the monstrous whirl and wheel super truck that's coming up next? Let me know in the comments. If you want to show support for the channel and the time and effort I put into these builds, please like the video or subscribe. And until the next one, all the best, take care and see ya.